I was rereading a little bit of the France game because honestly, I just wanted to make sure I got all the details and everything before the game fully ended and, could fully digest the actual game itself without having to just look at it through leaks. Us as a community, we kind of forget about the actual blog chapters itself and kind of just read the leaks and just kind of just be excited for the leaks and everything like that, but not the actual chapter when it's like really out to really fully read the game and take in how good it is in itself. I've been hearing people saying that this game either sucks. I saw a video on Isagi being able to adapt to the situation way too easily, and he hasn't really overcome any real adversity that he hasn't just adapted to in the middle of the game. And I will say, I do agree with the general point, but I will say I don't think that's what the France game will be, and I think the end result of the France game and the aftermath will prove that. Now, in this video, I really do want to talk about and put some light on something that I noticed and something that I picked up myself. I wanted to make sure I wasn't copying anybody's idea or video, so I kind of just scoured a little bit to see if anybody's ever made a video on this, and they haven't so far. So this will be the first time you guys will be seeing something like this, right? So recently, most of the community has been saying like, oh, Isagi's about to turn up, he's about to cook as of the last recent chapter. But I do just want everybody to realize something, and this is just me bringing attention to this matter. Isagi, realistically, after this game, should not be all that useful. And the reason why I say this is due to the fact that Hugo has shined Isagi's weaknesses off to every single team. He has shined his weakness to every single person that he's going to be playing against very, very soon, right? And what I mean by weakness is, if you guys can recall at the start of the game, Hugo encounters Isagi and he stops his two-gun volley, and he even says, this is how you stop his new shot, which was the acrobatic shot used on Onazi and Kusa. On top of that, we already know that, most majority of players know how to stop Isagi's direct shot by just going on his dominant foot or crashing into him before the shot. Hugo specifically does say crashing into Isagi in general forces him to he just can't shoot without his correct balance and things like that, right? Now, the big problem with this is the entire reason Isagi is in this situation is because of what I'm talking about. Isagi showcased a new technique that he did in the Nigeria game. France watched the film, broke that shit down, and said, okay, let's lock that shit up and figure out a plan. Now, I just want everybody to sit down and think for a second. What is stopping every other team from doing that same thing? Isagi is being completely shut down in this game, and on top of that matter, he cannot be an effective striker. This is because he's only reliant on his direct shot and his direct shot variants. The two-gun volley, a world-class weapon shut down by Hugo, can no longer be used anymore, and I don't think it should be used after this game because now players know how to stop it. Now, this is not to say that Isagi is completely useless. He still has his meta vision and his great passing and defensive ability, but as a striker, Isagi should be genuinely changed after this game. I think Kenshiro is hopefully building that up for the next few games, that he needs to find a different way to score. He needs to find a different way to be a striker and live as a striker, because I don't see a team not going there or not watching the film and being like, okay, we can stop him like that. Hugo pointed out Isagi's biggest weaknesses as a striker. If you crash into him, he cannot use this weapon. So if they just put a player on Isagi every time to guard him and crash into him, he cannot use that direct shot. Now, other players don't have this problem. The reason why they don't have this problem is because not everybody is so codependent on one type of shot style. Baro and Shido, for example, can pretty much shoot from any type of type, like curve shots, headers, just normal finishing in the penalty box. They have versatility. Ren can shoot any type of shot basically. By the time of the Neo Egos League, Isagi states himself that Ren's shot selection is quite literally varying from his U20 version. which was mainly just curve shots, but then he can do direct shots and he curve and things like that. But you guys get what I'm saying. The entire point is that Isagi is being put off now because as a striker, he cannot live on the same level as the other players on his team. And this is because at the end of the at the end of the day, this is because of Hugo. Hugo has completely shut Isagi out and shown him out to the world for who he really is. Isagi needs to develop a new weapon, or he needs to develop a new style way up to score if he wants to keep playing as a striker. If he can't, then, well, he has to listen to Hugo and be a number 2 and go to the midfield. Deadass, I'm not even trying to call Isagi ass or horrible, but I'm saying if something does not change by the next game, then Japan is in trouble because their main striker has one way of scoring, and if you lock this way up, like Hugo just did, he is essentially a below average striker, which Hugo states as well. And that is the biggest problem that I have with Isagi right now. And I'm really shocked that nobody has truly brought this up or spoken about this, because as much as everybody wants to say, oh, he adapts to all of these adversities mid-game, we should talk about the aftermath of the game in general. Because, again, we're talking about players and teams that watch the film, that watch these games. The France team watched the Nigeria game. They learnt and they locked them niggas up. So I'm saying the same thing is probably going to happen, if not even worse, because Isagi has one way of scoring. He has no versatility in him. Kaiser, his paralleling other, has different ways of scoring. He has the Kaiser Impact Magnus, the Kaiser Impact Bicycle Kick, the normal Kaiser Impact. He has different ways of scoring and different ways to getting where he needs to score, where Isagi has a certain pattern and formula to getting to that shot. Now, I do think Metavision does help with this and it can help him get free, but in general and overall, he's going to struggle from here on out because Hugo did this. And I mean, what can we say? Hugo is an analytical genius to the point where Isagi just can't do much, and now his weakness is exposed to the world on live television, and there's not much he can do about it. Now, this is all on the speculation that after this game, Kenshiro puts some spotlight on that, and if he doesn't, I mean, that's just kind of a plot hole to me personally, because I feel like realistically, teams are watching the film, they're going to be like, okay, Hugo pointed this out, we're going to put somebody on him, and we're going to make sure to crash into him every time he's about to shoot without a foul and lock it up, right? Now, that's really just my thoughts. This is a pretty short video because this is just my thoughts on Isagi's situation and the aftermath. And on top of that, just my opinion on how I feel like he's dealing with these adversities in general. But that is pretty much all for this one. And I mean, look, if you guys enjoy content like this where I talk about a specific character's well-being and what their aftermath and future are for some of these games, then I would like you to like and subscribe. And I would enjoy if you guys left a comment on your thoughts. How do you feel like Isagi's going to deal with this adversity? Will he develop a new weapon like Kaiser? Or will he just end up being shallow for the next few games or for the next game or so? And, well, I'll see you guys in the next one, because Blue Lock leaks are coming out this weekend. And my money's that Ren is about to fuck this shit up for everybody. So, Ren fans, please stay tuned. You will be slandered if this happens. Because guess what? I had him top 3 on the team. He will get dropped down immediately. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.